So we're talking about hormones. Now, do you know what hormones are? Hormones are, they are chemical messages, okay? Now, there are hormone receptors in every cell in our body. If you have adrenal fatigue, if you are feeling tired all the time, you know, one of the number one reasons people go to the doctor now is because they are tired all the time. In the UK particularly, doctors even have an acronym for it. They have an abbreviation for it. They're sick of writing it. TATT, tired all the time. So if you are one of these people that are really struggling with energy and you're tired all the time, it's possible that your hormones are out of balance. If you have difficulty losing weight, then it's a good indication that your hormones are out of whack. If you are struggling with mood swings, irritability, and you are very close to tears all the time, very common for hormonal teenagers particularly, that they can be very close to tears, very irritable, and very all over the place with their moods. It's a classic teenage symptom. So if you've got any teenagers in your house or pre-teens, then that is a big problem that they, you know, they really struggle because there's so much testosterone, there's so much estrogen, up and down fluctuations in those hormones as they balance out. And young men, young boys, particularly that period of time between 12 and 15, you know, they've got so much testosterone flooding their bloodstream that it makes them extremely close to the edge, makes them very teary, very irritable, very, very quick-tempered. So we certainly know about that if we've got any teenagers in the house. I'm talking from personal experience. I've got a young lad, Jack, who's 12, and yes, he is definitely preteen and definitely a little bit hormonal. Also, if you've got teenage daughters, you'll certainly know about that. So I'm going to give you tips on using the essential oils in a variety of ways to help balance out the hormones. If you have trouble sleeping, now if you are waking up several times a night, and you are particularly perimenopausal or menopausal, that is a classic case where your hormones will be driving those, the cortisol serotonin balance, that 24-hour sleep cycle that I've spoken about before. That's important to get that balance back into the system and balance out those hormones, and I'll give you a few tips for that. If you're struggling with poor memory, if you have very bad short-term memory problems, then that is something that is governed by the hormones. Now, if you have a precursor to type 2 diabetes, if you are in that high risk category of type 2 diabetes, then hormones are responsible for blood sugar. So that may be an issue for you. So please type in the box if you're struggling with any of those challenges, and we can give you specific blends that are very, very beneficial for that. Okay, so as I said, hormones are chemical messages, and they're not only responsible, like the ones we know the most about is the sex hormones, but it goes way beyond just the sex hormones. Steve, you have good short-term memory? Good for you, that's amazing. Being a menopausal mum, I can be mid-sentence and I can completely forget my words. So I am experiencing a little bit of short-term memory loss. It feels like baby brain, but in reverse. But yes, it can be a bit of a challenge. Okay, so hormones are those chemical messages, and they are responsible for so many functions in our day-to-day life: sleep, mood, body temperature. You know, when we get to menopausal mums, we're hot and cold. We're either really, really cold or really, really boiling hot. Hormones are responsible for balancing out blood sugar. They're also responsible for that fight and flight response. So the balance between cortisol and stress, that's hormone related. So the hormones come from the endocrine system, and the endocrine system comprises of the liver, the pancreas, the adrenals, and the thyroid. These are, they're directly involved in the growth and development, the metabolism, the nutrient regulation, and overall homeostasis. So if our hormones are out of balance, then our body is really struggling to maintain that homeostasis. Now, the endocrine system is a system of glands that exists throughout the body. and they produce and send these chemical messages to targeted organs and tissues via the central nervous system, via the circulatory system. Now, essential oils can be very beneficial since they are circulated in the same way. They are profoundly beneficial to the cells. And, you know, there's hormone receptors throughout our entire body. There's hormone receptors in our liver, in our small intestines, in our digestive system, in our brain, in our, or in every single cell in our body. So caring for the liver, particularly, so many of the hormones are made in the liver. And we talked about, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the main route of elimination. This is talking about the cell, the blood, the lymph, the connection to the gallbladder and the liver and the small intestine and the large intestine, and how toxins will go from the cells via the blood, via bile, through the lymph, through the gallbladder, through the liver, and out of the body via the small intestine and the large intestine. So supporting that main route of elimination is so, so important to healthy immune function. So supporting the liver, where a lot of hormones are made, is very, very important. And there's this interconnected domino effect between all of these functions. You cannot separate the function of the brain and the function of the body, the function of the gut and the function of the liver, the function of the overall digestive system, and the function of energy. We are all connected, and all of these things are connected. So if you're sleeping well, you're going to be feeling well, you're going to regulate body temperature well, you're going to process sugars and metabolize fats well, and you're going to have a balanced stress, fight and flight response. The reverse also happens, so that interconnected domino effect can certainly fall like a big stack of cards if you're not sleeping well. If you're not sleeping well, that's going to impact your mood, that's going to impact your sugar, your ability to metabolize sugar and fats. It's going to impact your stress, fight and flight system. It's going to impact the parasympathetic nervous system. It's all very closely linked. So the hormones come from the endocrine system, but there are many other organs involved in the production of hormones, especially the liver. Now, even though it is not the main function of the liver is certainly involved in the production of hormones. Now, in clinic, I am fascinated to see a direct correlation between ladies, particularly that have PMS and hormone imbalances and a perimenopausal or menopausal and struggling with a whole range of symptoms that also directly correlate to symptoms where the liver is out of balance. So have a look at some of these symptoms. Having irregular moods, massive mood swings, feeling irritable, having night sweats, sleep problems, mood changes, weight gain, slow metabolism, thinning of hair, dry skin, thinning of the skin, dizzy spells, aching joints, loss of libido, feeling tired all the time, being panicky, having anxiety, having urinary tract infections, infections in the kidneys, feeling bloated, suffering migraines and headaches, having burning tongue, having digestive issues, being bloated, having a reflux or heartburn, having strong body odor, feeling like the nails are brittle and weak, and struggling with osteoporosis. Now, all of these symptoms are similar to the symptoms that we experience when our liver is congested. So I see this direct correlation between the health of the liver and the health of the hormone, the endocrine system. Okay, they're very, very closely linked. So when we talk about, when we focus on sleep, we're talking about cortisol, melatonin, serotonin. Stress hormones include cortisol and adrenaline. Metabolism hormones include insulin and cortisol. And reproductive hormones include estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Okay, now all of these are need to be in balance for healthy cell, for healthy energy, and for a healthy immune system. Now, when we use essential oils to support our hormones, the essential oils act like neurotransmitters. They actually act like hormones. So instead of disrupting hormones, they work with the hormones to allow the effective use of neurotransmitters through the system. Now, remember I talked about the 3 really cool things about essential oils. They're safe and effective. They act like messengers, like the neurotransmitters and the hormones. They're immediate and they're quick acting, okay? And they can help balance the immune function and the gut function. So remember I talked about the olfactory nerve, just under the rim of the glasses here. The olfactory nerve is linked to the limbic system. The limbic system and the hypothalamus help govern mood and how well we're feeling and how well we're sleeping. That part of the brain then sends messages, neurotransmitters throughout the body to, they're catalysts to, to make things happen, to help us feel good, to help us metabolize fats, metabolize sugars, help with the stress response. So when we use essential oils in that manner, they act like neurotransmitters, they act like hormones, and they are then transmitted through to the hormone receptors in our cells that are in the respiratory system, in the digestive system, and in the reproductive system. Now, using essential oils are very effective, they're cost effective, they're far more beneficial than using hormone replacement therapy because they don't come with the unwanted side effects. So certainly using essential oils in conjunction with a healthy diet can be very, very supportive through those different stages of our life. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a few examples of what type of oils to use, and I'm going to refer to one of the most amazing books that I've ever read. And I do encourage you, and I will post an example in the group for you to have a look at. This woman, Dr. Marisa Snyder, this book is called The Essential Oils Hormone Solution. She's a GP and she focuses on hormone health, and she's absolutely amazing. She's got a lot of stuff on YouTube and a lot of stuff on her website talking about how to balance hormones using essential oils. I've heard her speak in London. She is absolutely amazing. And she says the must-have oils to balance hormones are clary sage, geranium, lavender, peppermint, and rosemary. Now, let me tell you why. Peppermint, it's uplifting and energizing, but the chemical constituents in that are menthol, menthone, and cineol. All right, now it's not important for you to know the chemical constituents, but what peppermint particularly can do is be very supportive to the digestive system, to the liver. It can be very supportive for blood pressure, and certainly it can help, it can uplift you and energize you, but also help you feel alert and calm. So that has a direct impact on the endocrine system. Rosemary, for example, is amazing for memory, and it's also very, very renewing and grounding and balancing, particularly for, again, blood pressure and the endocrine system. Ylang-ylang is another one. It's very calming and soothing. Now, geranium. It's interesting that a lot of the oils that are really good for the hormones are the floral oils. Geranium, again, it's very calming and soothing, and it's got the citronelle and the geraniol in it. Lavender has got linalool, and that is also, again, calming and soothing. So any of the oils that are particularly calming and soothing, like clary sage, again, very, very good to incorporate into your routine. So these oils, again, can be used aromatically, just having them in the diffuser, popping them in your hands and smelling them via the olfactory nerve to the limbic system. then flooding your hormone receptors throughout your body with that calming, soothing effect. Topically, we can use oils like the Clary Calm, which is Doterra's monthly women's support blend, is amazing. I tell you, in the juice bar, I employ a lot of women. And of course, generally when we're at festivals, a lot of the festivals in the UK coincide with full moon. And then, of course, when women are all working together, they often find that they all have their period together. And so often I've had the experience at Glastonbury, for example, where all the women, suddenly have their period together and they're all coming into work going, oh, I'm feeling a bit sore and painful and my lower back or my lower abdomen's really hurting. So Clary Calm is amazing. Let me tell you what Clary Calm has in it. I mean, it's got the Clary Sage, but it is incredibly beneficial. This has Clary Sage, lavender, bergamot, chamomile, cedarwood, ylang-ylang, geranium, fennel, carrot seed, palmarosa, and vitex. So that is amazing for supporting any bloated feeling that you get in the lower abdomen, the lower back, when that's really starting to hurt during that time in your cycle. Very, very calming and soothing. Right, let me tell you a little bit about the specific blends for specific issues. So, for example, if you were struggling with, if you are overwhelmed, okay, if you're feeling stressed and you're feeling overwhelmed, that is going to affect your hormones, it's going to affect your sleep, it's going to affect your ability to deal with that stress, fight and flight situation. So a really good blend for that would be, and you can put that in a roller ball, you can put that in one of these, all right? 12 drops of lavender, 9 drops of frankincense, and 9 drops of tangerine. Now, any of the citrus oils are very uplifting, but also, again, very calming. Once again, they affect the limbic system, and the limbic system then floods all those plant-based constituents into the receptors in the body. The wild orange, for example, is like a smile in a bottle. So, de-stressing, really good de-stress roller blend would be 10 drops of wild orange, 8 drops of lavender, and 5 drops of clary sage. Now, if you are struggling with hot flushes, 8 drops of clary sage, 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of frankincense, and 4 drops of copaiba in a roller ball can help with hot flushes and feeling a bit not quite yourself. If you have really heavy bleeding, then the Clary Calm, very, very good for teenage girls, particularly if they're struggling with heavy bleeding. Rolling that on the lower abdomen and the lower back can be very, very supportive. Right, now I want to share with you the different ways to order, because I know that I've spoken a lot about how to use the different oils, and whether you can use them aromatically or topically or internally. But I want to tell you the 3 different ways to order. Now, I know that you're opening back up next week, which is amazing. And I know that Katie's got a couple of the intro kits left. The intro kits, the small introductory kits, are $35, and they have lavender, peppermint, and lemon in them. They are just the small bottles. So they're this size. All right, they're this size bottle. They have 80 drops in this bottle. The bigger bottles, so they're little bottles, okay? So that intro kit, so $35 would get you started with peppermint, lemon, and lavender. Now, lemon is amazing for supporting the liver. Part of the endocrine system, well, it's not part of the endocrine system, but it's really important to support, the healthy liver function underpins hormone balance. So drinking plenty of water with 1 drop of lemon in it can support the liver. Lemon is also amazing for cleaning. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about low tox cleaning, because if you have a range of toxic chemicals in your house and you have a range of toxic chemicals in your hair care and your skin care, those will interrupt your hormones. They will cause imbalance with your hormone system. Supporting your pancreas, again, the 1 drop of lemon in your water can help support the pancreas, help support proper hormone function, help support healthy metabolism of fats and sugar. For supporting your adrenals, peppermint is amazing. If you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, let me tell you about this one, this blend. To eliminate overwhelm, just having tea tree on the breastplate, tea tree on the just above the breast, on your heart center, tea tree just below your diaphragm in this area here is very, very good as it cleanses those areas. Oregano to the top of the head, 1 drop of oregano to the top of the head helps us to step outside ourselves and gain a different perspective, helps us to see what needs to be changed, creates an open mind, creates flexibility in your thinking. Once again, brain health is going to impact your hormone health. Having 1 drop of cypress on the inside of your elbow crease can help to powerfully move thoughts of stagnation, thoughts of being stuck in old ways of thinking. And it creates that feeling of fluidity in your life. So boosting self-esteem, the citrus oils like bergamot, tangerine or citrus bliss or wild orange or lemon or grapefruit, fantastic for 1 drop on the solar plexus. These oils can help you understand how to love yourself unconditionally. And self-love is so important to the endocrine system. You know, when you're feeling in love, your immune system benefits, and so does your hormone system. Your endocrine system benefits from feelings of love and joy. So these oils can show you how to love yourself unconditionally, to deeply fall in love with yourself, to genuinely love yourself, and to, really feel that self-love and feel that love for people around you. Okay, so for clarity and vision and memory, 1 drop of spearmint on the top of the head is incredibly powerful. It clears the ways for clear thoughts and clear memory. 1 drop of rosemary in your diffuser is amazing to support memory. So if you have any teenagers in the house that are stressed about exams, then diffusing rosemary with wild orange can help with alertness, but also with memory. Okay, so now I just want to give you a couple of extra blends, and then I'm going to tell you the best way to order. So, have a look at this one, Restore and Reset Your Hormones. This is such a great book. 2 drops of cedarwood, 2 drops of wild orange, and 1 drop of ylang-ylang. And diffusing that in the bedroom at night can help reset and restore your hormones. So, the essential oils are very, very powerful for, interacting with the endocrine system and supporting those neurotransmitters and those chemical messengers throughout the body. Okay, so hopefully over the last 6 weeks, I have demonstrated that there are so many ways to use your essential oils. There are 3 different ways to order. You can order retail, so when the studio opens back up, you can get yourself a little intro kit for $35, or you can buy an individual oil and let me know, what you'd like to buy. The second way to buy is wholesale. So getting yourself a kit means that you're going to save 25%. When you get a kit, you get my support. You get continued learning. Now, under the whole category of continued learning, this month we have two different types of learning being launched. We have Oil Camp. Oil Camp is a 10-day learning experience. It doesn't go for 10 full days. It goes for 10 minutes a day over 10 days. And it teaches you all about the top 10 oils in one of the enrollment kits. And the enrollment kits start at $100. So, you know, that's very affordable. Remember that they're safe, they're effective, they're much more cost effective than traditional medicine and having to go to the doctor. Now, the third way to order is beyond wholesale. And this is how I get my oils. I order monthly and I get free oils. So I get to try different oils. I also get access to specials like free product of the month, different promotions. Sometimes there's 3 free oils. Sometimes there's a buy one, get one free. And I also am part of a loyalty reward program. So now for every oil, every bit of investment I make in the oils, I get 30% paid back to me in points. Now, points mean free product. So basically, I am getting, every single month, I'm getting free healthcare. So I'm sharing my passion of the oils with others, and that way I get my oils paid for. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, then please let me know. Okay, you've got a 14-year-old boy who's very close to tears. There is an amazing hormone point that is just to the right and left side of the back of the ankle, just to the either side of the Achilles heel. Rubbing some of the oils on there. Start off with lavender or wild orange. Rubbing that onto the feet of your teenage boys or girls is fantastically balancing for the hormones. It helps them sleep better. It helps calm them down. The Clary Calm, that can be used on the back of the ankle point. That little point there is amazing for even babies. Doing baby massage is fantastic for balancing their hormones. And, you know, just giving them a little foot massage and then cupping your hands into their ankles and just letting their knees flop and just gently pulling. So you're stimulating the lymph once you've rubbed that oil on, and gently pulling, gently, and letting their ankles and their calves drop into your hands. And in doing that, just say 3 times, relax, relax, relax. Relax, relax, relax. And just gently stimulating the lymph. That is enough to get that oil into the bloodstream, to support the lymph, to support the gallbladder, the liver, and then the endocrine system. That's all we've got time for today. Next week, we're going to be covering off green cleaning and reducing your toxic load by creating your own cleaning products and making sure that you're using essential oils rather than nasty chemicals that disrupt your hormones in your home. Yes, Nicole, we'll speak tomorrow, and we'll have a wellness consult, and I'll guide you to the best way to order those oils. And please, if you're watching on replay and you've got any questions you'd like to reach out to me and you'd like to invest in oils right now, then please send me a personal message and we'll help get you started. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're continuing to learn about the benefits of essential oils, and we'll see you next week.